Well, there are two court cases back here getting a lot of attention tonight. The first involves the murder of a former contestant from the reality show America's Next Top Model. Mirjana Puhar was found shot to death, along with two other people, two men, in a home in Charlotte, North Carolina. After police arrested 19-year-old Emmanuel Rangel for the crime, Senator Chuck Grassley sent a letter to the Department of Homeland Security asking whether this guy was in the United States illegally and whether he was allowed to stay here under the president's Dreamer program, despite the fact that he was in a known gang. There is still no response from DHS. Joining us now, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst. Even under the president's Dreamer program, if you are in a gang, if you're a known gang member, you don't qualify. So if he was in a known gang and was allowed to stay here under deferred action, by the president, then the administration screwed up.
Right. Let's set some basics. Senator Grassley says he has a source. We don't know who the source is.
And he's asking to confirm this of DHS.
Correct.
He's received no response thus far.
He's giving them a deadline. But the program under which Senator Grassley's source believes he was allowed to stay here was not legislated by Congress. This is another executive order written by the president, inconsistent with federal law, which basically says to people like this: if you do A, B, C, D, and E, I won't deport you. And the president made up the A, B, C, D, and E. It's not in the statute. This is not the part of the law. This is not an executive order that was challenged and enjoined by a federal judge in Texas 2 weeks ago.
Most recently.
Right. This was done 2 years ago. So far as I know, this has not been enjoined by any judge, and DHS has been implementing it.
But doesn't this play into what we're going to see happen in the courts now on the president's most recent executive action? Because the Congress is saying, hey, there's a reason we're here. There's a reason we get to weigh in on the law when it comes to illegal immigration.
And that reason is the Constitution, which says the Congress writes the laws and not the president. So when the president writes the laws and the Congress does nothing about it, and the whole government apparatus follows the president's newly written law the way he wants it to be, Congress is as much to blame as the president is. We should not accept this sitting down. Whether you think these people should be here or not is not the story. The president shouldn't be making that decision. Only Congress can.
Well, and clearly if this guy was a confirmed gang member who was here and never should have been here,
it's insane.
Then the question about whether they can enforce their own executive orders according to the criteria the president sets with his pen and his phone is going to come up again in the context of his new executive order.